Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. As mentioned in the daily financial news, we have two wonderful experts as part of our Wednesdays. And we got Matt, the mortgage guy. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Mike. How you doing?
I got to tell you, I look forward to our conversation. Each one of my experts are just awesome because they're all slated in unique areas. And obviously, you are my mortgage guy. You have your hands on dozens and dozens of real life deals all the time. You're helping people make important decisions about purchase, refi, rate locks, all of that. So I want to have this first conversation about something oh man, in my gut, I feel like there's about to be a surprise, and that is rates. I know if you look today, the 10 years touching 1.5, and
Right. Yeah, dipped 148 for a brief minute.
man, that is wacky. So it's funny. I talked about it on the daily financial news this morning. I brought up the 10 year. I think at the time it was like 1.51, and it was like down and that dipped further. I'm like, the Fed is playing games. I'm like, somebody is in this, or there's just too much cash. There, with what I see on the very near horizon scares me. Right? We were touching what did we peak out like 1.75 like 60 days ago, and we've retreated a quarter point. And
Right. Right.
something feels off, in my opinion.
Right.
I
Yeah.
just
I
want to
mean,
know what
you know, we got in February as mortgage brokers a quick gut punch where we saw, oh, rates can change by a quarter or 3/8 within a matter of a week.
yeah.
And that was, we've had it 2018, other times this has happened, but for whatever reason right now, I feel like I feel this uneasiness because I've got 85, 90 people fully pre-approved and shopping. And I've probably got another 200 or 300 that we've talked to. They're going to get pre-approved and they want to buy in the next 3 or 6 months. Every single thing that goes into contract now, I basically tell people, let's not take a chance. If you like it, lock it. And we lock it up front. And if I have to extend in the back end, I'll pay for that if it goes more than 30 days or whatever. But, today, actually, the day we're recording this, there's going to be a 10-year note auction at 1 Eastern. So literally 15 minutes after we record this. And who knows what happens with the 10-year treasury. But what I do know is that, if people don't understand it, I hate to make it sound more complicated than it needs to with the buying of mortgage-backed securities.
Yep.
Mortgage-backed securities, if there's not a lot of buying of these things, rates will go up. Mm-hmm. And what people, have heard from us so many times is when the government is involved and they're buying 40, 60 billion dollars per month. I think it's even more. It might be 80 or 100.
I think it's 80 or 100 now. Yeah, it's crazy.
Right. So when they stop doing that, it's a guarantee that mortgage rates go up.
Well, here's the deal. They don't even have to stop. If they cut it by 50%, that'll adjust rates, right? I mean, it's not if they go from 100 to 0.
Right, right. And I'll go a step further, Mike. If they talk about cutting it in the fourth quarter of 2021, that is going to affect interest rates because now it's like we're buying. We're talking about we're not going to slow down. I've started to see some cracks. I've started to see some, we might, and we're going to consider it. And as soon as they say, you know what, I think we do need to start tapering our purchase. I think we need to pull back. Just that conversation, we're going to see a tick up in rates. And, if there's no like private investor demand for the 10-year note, today's auction, and the 10-year starts to rise, there's so many factors that can lead to interest rates going up. There's almost nothing that's going to happen. We're about as low as they get. And I think people just forget that, and they get lulled into this sense of like, okay, things are a little bit more expensive, but at 2.85%, my mortgage doesn't look that bad.
Exactly.
If in 2 weeks, like we snap our fingers and things are at 3.25%, it's going to be more expensive. And the crazy part is there's so much demand that you can't say, oh, if rates go to 3.25%, I'll be able to buy a house for 5% cheaper. You just won't. No. You just won't. I'll tell you now. I'll if it's a mystery to you, let it not be. If rates go up to 3.25%, there's no discount on housing because I think me and you want to talk about it later. Yeah. There's demand behind demand.
Yeah, there's just not going to happen. That's interesting. I had forgot there is a 10-year auction today. And the reason it's important today and why it might be lightly participated is CPI comes out tomorrow, right? And CPI
Right.
last
Another
month was
big.
4. That's a big number, man. It was 4.2% last month, and they expect it to be higher. So why? Just ask yourself, folks, why would you buy something with a 1.5% coupon when inflation's at 4.2% or CPI is at 4? I mean, you're losing money. I mean, yeah, today's auction is going to be interesting. 1:00 Eastern. Yeah.
Yep. We're gonna know shortly. We're gonna know shortly how that affects it. I'm gonna have up in the background as I'm making calls and doing other stuff, some 10-year treasury and
didn't go
the
well.
mortgage bond. Right. Yeah. I mean, and the only thing I can do as a mortgage advisor is just tell people, that are refinancing, get me your stuff. And I try not to be a salesman. I try to tell people who are talking to me about a refinance, it might fluctuate a little bit day by day, but in general, it's not going to move too much. But now I'm literally like highlighting it based on today's rates. And I told people, I had conversations yesterday where people were looking at cash out refinance. And I said, listen, you don't know whether you want to take out 50, 75, or 100 based on this. You don't know if you want to do a 20-year or 30-year. Fine. Application docs, get it in. Let's submit it and lock it. We can change program. We can change cash out amount, but let's get it locked on today's sheet, because today's sheet is the only thing I can guarantee is that if we lock it, we're locked.
Yeah. I come in
Can't
tomorrow.
guarantee it tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah.
Right.
Folks, do yourself a favor. If you're in the state of California, you're looking at a purchase or a refi, you need to reach out to Matt, the mortgage guy, today. I am so unbelievably uncomfortable with what I see coming over the near term, right? Usually I talk about this in months. I'm thinking weeks now. This could, I mean, again, you go from 2.8 to 3.25, like you said. That doesn't sound like a lot, but that's, what is that? 20% move, 15% move. I mean, it's
on any decent sized loan. We're in California, so we know that people are borrowing 4, 5, 600,000. We're talking about hundreds of dollars per month
for 30
on a small interest rate move. Right. Yeah.
So, folks, again, I can't stress it enough. If you're in California looking to buy or refi, you need to reach out to Matt, the mortgage guy. And how do you want them to do that?
Matt@mattthemortgageguy.com. So far, so good. I don't think that I've burned anybody. My biggest thing that keeps me up at night is somebody's emailing me and saying, hey, I reached out to you 4 days ago, never heard back. Me and the team are trying to do our best, get back to you, whether it's, quick advice, whether it's getting on my calendar, whether it's a refinance scenario, whatever it is, just Matt@mattthemortgageguy.com. Send an email, send as much information as you can so I can give you good feedback. And if my office manager's in there checking email, can kind of steer you in the right direction. You need this, you need that, you need the application link, whatever it is.
Yeah. And the two things I will say on that front. So first off, you and I have been talking, I think, for 6 months now. All the feedback from the one rental at a time community is rave reviews. So thank you for that. And then second,
all right, I better not screw this up.
Yeah, I better not screw it up. Matt.themortgageguy.com. There are 3 T's in a row, just so you know, you're not going eyes crossed. So I think what Matt and I are telling you is we're feeling a little uneasy about rates going forward, because I think, CPI tomorrow, PPI in China today was 9%. 9%.
Wow.
I'm nervous. All right, buddy. Thank you for this. I look forward to episode number 2. It's gonna be a doozy. Thanks, buddy.
Cool. Yeah.